Hi everyone. Yeah, it's me, Popo, and today we're going to be talking about Popo's immigration story. Yeah, and it's presented by me, Popo himself. So welcome. Let's get straight into the slides. So I'm hoping that these slides, will be able to motivate someone out there, to let you know that your Canada relocation dreams are valid and that yes, if you apply yourself, you can make it happen. And if you not just apply yourself, if you listen to the right people and you get the right information, you can definitely actualize your dreams of relocating to Canada. So yes, your CRS scores might be a bit lower or even much lower than the current CRS cutoff, but that shouldn't spell the end to your relocation journeys, your relocation journey per se. If you listen to the right people, allow yourself to be guided by the right people, and you apply the information or the knowledge you've gathered. So that's me enjoying a bit of snow. Yeah, it was snowing. I felt okay. Let me go outside and see and take a few pictures. And yeah, that's one of them. And I love this picture, even though I refuse to smile. Yeah, you get to know what I mean by this slide in as we continue with the presentation. But when it comes to relocating to Canada, they are the ups and the downs, and they are very, very what's the right word? They are very poignant. Well, I think poignant is a big word. So they are very much felt during your birthdays when you actually get to lose points, and it reduces your CRS score. But we'll talk about that later. This is just a fun slide before we get into the details. Okay, so I'll tell you a bit about myself and the timeline to ITA for me. And so Zeno, as usual, she kept encouraging me, to relocate to Canada, and that yes, it's a great place to live. The weather is great there during the summer. Good work-life balance, and you have a good government that really cares about the citizens. A lot of benefits you get from being a Canadian permanent resident. And I was like, okay. After a bit of pressure, I decided let me give it a try, and so in April 2019. With Zeno's help and her guidance, I was able to put together all of my documentation and get into the express entry pool. I did my IELTS. Yes, I'm not going to talk about that. Yeah, it's a long story. I did my IELTS. Yes, I did my ECA. Using WES, and after I'd got all my documentation, I went straight in to the Federal Express Entry Pool. And I checked my score. I came out with 454, which was a good score as a then. And I thought, yeah, in the next draw, I'm going to get a straight ITA. Well, so I thought until I got the surprise of my life. Yes, yeah, that was what happened. The CRS scores began to rise into the 470s. And I was like, why is it that now I want to do this thing that CRS scores decide that, they want to go all the way to infinity and beyond. And I was like, oh, what am I going to do? Confusion started. And yeah, I started thinking, what are my options? How do I get to do this thing? Are the scores going to go down, or what's going to be the situation for me in the future? Because I'm going to get stuck in this express entry pool without making any progress. And lo and behold, I heard the biggest lie I'd ever been told by, yes, guess who? An immigration agent. So I thought, okay, yeah, let me speak to an agent. They know more about this than me, and they'll be able to advise me on what to do. And so, yeah, just sit there. Don't worry, scores are going to drop. But yes, that was the biggest lie I was ever told, because let me explain it to you. You know how the federal express entry system works. You put in your profile, you get a CRS score, and you sit there and wait until they do a draw. And if they choose a particular CRS score, if you're above that CRS score, which is the CRS score, they call it the cutoff. If you're above the cutoff, you get an invitation to apply for permanent residency, which we call an ITA. If you're below, yes, you don't get anything as usual. And over the years, this Canadian permanent residency federal express entry system has become so popular. A lot of people in Nigeria, in India, in China, all over the world, even in America and in the UK as well, they all want to migrate to Canada. So they get into the federal express entry pool. And so the more popular this program becomes, the more people you get in the pool. And Canada only, for each draw they do in the Federal Express Entry Pool, they only invite about 3,500 people. So if you only invite 3,500, they would only invite the top 3,500. And so the more people you have in the pool, the higher the CRS score, the score would have to be in order for them to maintain the invitation of those top 3,500. So as time continues to go by, this program continues to get very popular, except maybe other countries, Western countries, start to compete with the Federal Express Entry system, like the way, like say the UK, like with their skilled worker program, Australia has theirs. Unless these programs become more favorable, that would be the only time, the Federal Express Entry system would lose popularity and then scores would drop. But as it stands right now, the Canadian Federal Express Entry system is a very popular system. So the scores would always continue to rise. So that was the biggest lie I was told, that, the CRS scores were going to go down. That wasn't true. So yeah, come August 2019, after I put in my Federal Express Entry profile, it was my birthday, and lo and behold, I didn't have an ITA, and yes, the scores, my CRS score dropped again from 454, I was down to 449. So instead of me celebrating my birthday with nice presents, I was celebrating my birthday in tears, because now my scores kept going down and there was no hope in sight. I was like, wow, what am I going to do? It felt like I was drowning. Yes, that feeling that, there's nothing you can do about this, you're just stuck in there. Should I go and learn French? Oh man, French is going to take me forever to learn. It's not an easy language, because obviously I didn't learn it from birth. I can't speak it very well, apart from what I did in primary school, and I have to do an exam on this. I'm like, no, this is not a good option for me. So it was like panic. What do I do now? What do I do? And that feeling of not even being able to do much, it's absolute despair. And I began to question this whole relocation dream. Like, after all of this hassle of getting police certificates, of doing IELTS, trying to get my transcript from the university that took ages, and also West asking me to send WAEC scratch cards so they can check my my WAEC results. For those that are not Nigerian, WAEC result is like your secondary school GCSE or O-level results, as they call it. So after going through all of that hassle, then I'm now stuck in this pool, with the CRS cut off very high, and my CRS score going in the opposite direction. So yeah, it got me to start thinking, like, obviously, not wanting to give up. And I spoke to Zeno, and Zeno was like, okay, yeah, let's try a few things. I have a few ideas that I would want us to try. But she was thinking, yeah, your profile, I've seen people with your profile similar to you that are coming to Canada. What's it that they are doing that you're not doing? Let's have a look. Let's investigate together. And that was when she came up with this maximum opportunities framework that she put together. Thanks to Zeno, very brilliant idea. So the framework was such that she encouraged me to start applying for jobs instead of sitting in the express entry pool and just drowning there, or trying to go do French, an additional certification, or a master's degree. She was like, okay, there are other ways to go to Canada. You don't have to stick to the Federal Express Entry system. There are a lot of other pathways you can look at. So she encouraged me to start applying for jobs, using my Canadian CV. She helped me put my CV together in the Canadian format, and I started applying for jobs. And she also encouraged me to get all of my documentation together so that I can target any provincial nomination program that I am eligible for, and not just only the ones that are existing, but any new ones that would come, such that I'm ready. So that's what she, we did. We got the my PR documentation ready. So I achieved what we called the PR documentation readiness. And also she introduced me to this technique called CV hacking that I could use to expose my work experience so far to other NOC codes. So I was like, wow, this is interesting. So, she informed me about these techniques, and I decided, okay, let me give it a try and see what happens. So I started, I got my CV, updated my CV in the Canadian format. I put together all of my PR documentation, permanent residency documentation, or PR documentation. And also I did the CV hack exercise to see how I could expose my experience, my work experience to other NOC codes. The job applications were going through, I put in an expression of interest in all of the provincial nomination programs that I was eligible for, using the NOC codes that I'd gotten from a CV hack. And So then I was able to, as I do two things, apply for jobs and also package my express entry profile in a way that it became attractive to provinces that had targeted occupations in demand. So that's what I did. And what was the result of this? Thanks to Zeno, Ontario came to the rescue for me. So in the same August, after I lost 5 points, I got a late birthday gift from Ontario and Zeno. So I did the CV hack and positioned my NOC code amongst the NOC codes that were in demand in Ontario. And lo and behold, I got a letter of interest from Ontario. So this is the letter you can see here. Dear Samuel, the basically letter of interest is just saying the province likes your express entry profile and they want to invite you to apply for provincial nomination. And that was what happened. They invited me, and because I was PR documentation ready, bang, I went straight in to put in the application. I didn't waste time. So in the same August, I received the letter of interest from Ontario. I also applied for provincial nomination because I had PR documentation readiness, which Zeno helped me. She supported me in getting to that stage. And in October, lo and behold, I got my provincial nomination certificate, and then I was able to apply for. So I got my provincial nomination certificate in October, and in the same October, I got an ITA to apply for permanent residency because after getting a provincial nomination certificate, you get 600 points. I got 600 points in my federal express entry profile, and yes, that would beat any cutoff whatsoever. And so I got an ITA in October and applied for permanent residency. And as they say, the rest is history. So what now for you? I would say, yeah, you've heard my story, and now you might be thinking, oh yeah, I've gone through the day 3 exercise to optimize my scores, and I've looked at the various options, and they are kind of different. I know in your mind you're thinking that they are kind of different to the options that you're telling me now in your story. Yes, they are different. Obviously, I guess maybe for myself, I wouldn't say I'm lazy, but I'm kind of efficient. If I can go from point A to B with just 10 steps, I would rather take that than taking the alternative pathway that would take me 100,000 steps, for example. Yeah, I know it's extreme, but you get what I mean. I went for the easy route. So this was my thinking then. And I guess, this is something you might want to think about when I was considering the options. I thought school, going to school to do a master's degree or a PhD. And I was thinking, oh yeah, that's going to be expensive, going in there as an international student, not a Canadian permanent resident. So I'm going to have to pay international fees, and those are expensive. We're looking at sometime for a decent school, $20,000 or $15,000 to $20,000. I was like, no, I don't want to go that way. Learn French. Oh, wow. I was like, oh, come on. The only thing I know in French is bonjour, comment ça va? And I was like, so going to learn French now, how easy is that? You know how difficult IELTS is, and this is with English. That's our first language. I was born speaking English. I went to school where I was tutored in English, and trying to write IELTS is difficult in its own right. And not to talk of when you now have to go learn a foreign language and write an exam to a similar level of difficulty as IELTS. And I was thinking this is going to take me about a year, and I don't have that time. I'm still going to go across another birthday and lose more points. I was like, no, I wouldn't go for that. And getting an extra degree, even in my home country, I thought, that's going to be 1 year as well. Yeah, it's going to be cheaper than relocating to Canada to go do a master's degree, but that's still 1 year I'm going to lose. And as I said, with the way the Canadian express entry system is getting popular, the CRS cutoff is still going to rise. So I might end up finishing my master's, and then the cutoff has risen again. And also, so it's a combination for me. I would spend 1 year doing the master's. I'll get additional points for the additional degree. But in that 1 year, I would go across my birthday and lose another 5 points. And also, on the other hand, the CRS cutoff would also continue to go up because the program is getting more popular. So I was like, yeah, I wouldn't consider all of these options. And that's why I stuck, with Zeno's maximum opportunities framework. And that was what worked for me. So what I would say is your best bet, like for me, my best bet was the maximum opportunities framework. And it worked for me, and I believe it can work for you too. Yeah, it's something that has been tried and tested, not just by myself, but by other people as well that Zeno has worked with. Yeah, something you might want to give a try. So I would say watch out for the next exercise in day 5, and yeah, we'll take things from there. So I hope my story has been able to encourage you, and as I said, most importantly, let you know that your Canada relocation dreams is valid. Because yeah, if you drown in the express entry pool like I was drowning, you begin to question the validity of this dream of relocating to Canada. You start asking, what's the point? Why do I need to go through all of this hassle? Well, the key thing is that you don't even need to go through all of that hassle if you apply yourself and you agree, or you decide to be mentored by people that have been through the system and know how it works, and not just listening to these people that mentor you through the process, but also applying the knowledge you've learned. With that, you can maximize your chances of scoring an ITA to apply for permanent residency in Canada. So that's it from me, and thank you very much for watching.